Hey everybody, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Today I want to do an important video on how you can thrive in the home studio. Just two things, like the two really critical things that you need to do and to think about if you really want to thrive in your home or project studio. A lot of what I teach is technique, tips, how to get a great sounding drum kit or acoustic guitar or a vocal, or I'll do product reviews to help you navigate your purchase decisions. This is what this plugin can sound like, or what this audio interface is capable of. And because I know that money is tight, so you want to spend it well, and reviews are helpful. But then a lot of what I try to do is philosophical teaching, because there has to be more than just how and why. This is an art, and you have to have a vision, and it's a craft. So there's this missing piece. But alongside that, there is something that if you really want to thrive in a studio, even just for fun, I'm not even talking about if you want to have lots of clients or make a business out of this, because some of you do. But if you just want to make great music and you want it to sound good and you want to improve, and that's why I assume you're watching this video, is you want to improve. I want to improve. That's why I watch videos. I read books. I go to seminars. I listen to other mixers. If you want to improve, you got to do these two things I'm about to share with you. And one is somewhat obvious, and the other is born out of some controversy over a post last week. So I'll start with the easy one. Number one, hard work. I don't know why some people seem to skip this, but you have to work hard. If you want to get good at this, you have to do it a lot. It's not just some techniques that will be light bulbs that will unlock the secret of recording, although there are some of those moments, and I try to share some of the ones that have had a big impact on me, because I know what it was like when I first learned something. I was like, that makes so much sense. That really helps me. But you have to take that a step further, and you just have to go do a lot of work, and you have to work hard, just like anything. I know this sounds very cliche, but the only guys that are getting really good at this craft are the ones that are just hustling, the ones that are just putting in their reps, as it were, mixing a lot, recording a lot, making bad recordings, making bad mixes, asking their friends if they can record their album, putting themselves out there and taking on clients for free if they're starting out, just to get a body of work to increase, okay? The guys that don't do a lot of work are never going to get good. And the guys and gals that really have accumulated a mass quantity of projects, whether they're even simple songs, even their own music. The guys that write a lot of songs are going to get better at songwriting. It's the same in the studio. There is no shortcut. There is no technique or YouTube video or article that can take you from complete newbie to Grammy talent as a producer, engineer, mixer. I can show you some things, and some other guys can show you some things that are going to help fill in the gaps, but you have to put in the hard work. For many of you, this is probably obvious. It's overlooked, so I had to mention it. So please understand you have to work hard. If you really want to thrive in your home studio, even for fun, even to make great music for your band, you have to work hard. Number two, might be even more important. You're going to have to drop this attitude of entitlement. And this comes from a post I did last week called Grow Up and Stop Using Cracked Plugins. If you don't follow the blog and you're just on the YouTube channel, go over to the website, therecordingrevolution.com. You'll see it. It is now my most commented on blog post. It took the place of a previous post in less than a day. It became my most commented on post. It hit a nerve with a lot of people. And there's a lot of issues why I think using cracked plugins, basically downloading plugins that you didn't buy or using plugins that you stole, why I think that's bad. And it's not just a morality game. I'm not just trying to judge people, because I am a jacked up person and I've done a lot of things wrong in my life, and I still do. But some things are just wrong, whether we've all done them or not, and that's one of them. But what I saw creep up in those arguments for stealing plugins and downloading illegal software is a fundamental belief that we are entitled to have those plugins, that certain pieces of software are overpriced, and therefore it's unfair. And since I deserve to have whatever plugins or software I want, I can justify downloading a pirated version, at least to get my start, you know. And that's another argument, is that some guys need those plugins to get their start and you don't have any money at the beginning. I just want to address that really quickly as a way to encourage you. I'm not trying to jump on a soapbox again and now criticize another, my mind, faulty logical statement, because my goal is to actually help people. And if you listen, this will help you. Do not be entitled. Do not feel like you are entitled to a DAW, to microphones, to preamps, to plugins, to anything. This applies to anything outside of the studio also, by the way, as many of the things I try to teach do, because I care about you more than just your recordings you make. I care about your life. But in the studio, if you really want to thrive, if you want your music to sound incredible, if you want to be churning out much better recordings and mixes, things that actually sound like the pros, where you are very proud of them, then yes, take all the tips I can offer and all the other tips some of the great producers and mixers out there are sharing. Work hard and get practice and get your reps. But along with that, you have to shed this attitude of entitlement. You don't deserve jack squat. I don't deserve jack squat. Do you know that everything that I have now, because my studio has grown over the years, everything that I have now, I did not have when I got started. I did not have things handed to me like some people assume. I had to work hard. I have been very blessed, and it has taken a long time. I have been recording and making music in a home studio for 15 years. When I started 15 years ago, I had an SM58 that I paid for. That was the biggest purchase of my life. A sound card into my old PC that my dad gave me, that I had to use some jacks from Radio Shack to convert a microphone signal into an 1/8" jack, if you know what I'm talking about, to go into that input on the back of a PC, with Cakewalk guitar tracks, which maybe I paid $50 for or something at Walmart. And this was after I had played with a Korg 8-track hard disk that me and my band bought. That's what I had to start, and I made 2 whole records on that. And they sound horrible. Not really because of the gear, but because I just was experimenting. We all have to start somewhere. And the moment you shed the idea that you deserve a nice high-end plug-in bundle that you think is overpriced, the moment you shed the idea that you deserve the most expensive DAW or the latest DAW upgrade, the moment you shed that sense of entitlement is the moment you become free to actually go make great music. It's the moment you actually gain the biggest weapon on your side, which is contentment and focus. If you're content with what you have and you're just determined, well, this is what I have, so I'm gonna just make killer music with it, dude, you unlock the potential to make the most phenomenal recordings. Entitlement means you don't actually learn your stuff. It means you start to blame shift as to why your recordings are bad. Your recordings are bad because you're bad. I hate to tell you that. The same for me. When I churn out a bad mix, it's not because of my gear. All right? Entitlement is just the most poisonous thing in our generation and in the studio, and it was most evident in these hundreds of comments about how people basically at their core feel like they're entitled to have plugins. And you know what? You're not, and I'm not. I don't deserve to have the gear I have. But I've worked hard, saved money, sold stuff, bought gear, traded gear in, tried stuff. I've bought things that were really a waste of money. You make mistakes, but I don't deserve this stuff. And at the end of the day, if it were all destroyed in a fire, I don't need it to go make great music. I would start over again. I would get a DAW and use stock plugins. I'd get the most affordable audio interface I can, one decent microphone, and I would go for it. So this isn't really a sonic tip or a studio tip as much as it is a life tip. And I'm really burdened for people that really feel entitled to have this stuff. And I want you, if you've ever felt that, or if you are feeling that, or maybe you haven't, don't get caught up in that sense of entitlement. It's not going to help you reach your goals. If you're on this channel, if you're on my website, if you're on Twitter or Facebook watching any of this stuff, it's probably because you want to make great music. And being entitled and feeling entitled to gear and complaining that you should be able to download it and saying things that piracy is not theft and nonsense like that, it's not helping you reach your goals, people. To reach your goals, you need to work hard. You need to drop a sense of entitlement and trust the process. You'll get better with the stuff you have. And then down the road, when you make a little bit of extra money, buy the plugins you want. If you can't afford the plugins you want, but you can afford the computer that you're on and the internet that you're downloading the plugins from, Maybe your priorities are out of whack. You need to sell some stuff or change your budget and save up and come back in a year and buy what you need. We all can make things happen. It's just a matter of priorities. And in the meantime, entitlement and discontentment will just rob you of any joy and any fruitfulness in the studio. So I hope that's not too preaching at you, but you need to hear it. I need to hear it. It's important. And I do care about you. That there's so many of you that follow this channel and so many of you that follow this website. And I don't even understand how that happened, because when I started this, there was just my mom and 2 of my friends that read my website. And now it's thousands of you. And so I care deeply that I share what's most important and what actually will help you on this website. So take it for what it's worth. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or if any of this has helped you. Again, go make music. That's what this is all about. Don't be entitled to anything, because you and I, we don't deserve anything, okay? Have a great week. Talk to you soon.